to get yourself a bit more comfortable. And then we'll start our morning with a mindful meditation practice. So you could just rest your hands in your lap or maybe on your knees. And then when you're ready, you can close your eyes. Starting out with a few easy deep breaths. If you can manage to breathe in and out through your nose, that would be great. And just noticing the direction of your breath. And seeing if you can breathe into your belly first. Let your belly rise, then your chest. And as you breathe out, let your belly fall and then your chest. So breathing in, let your belly expand like a big red balloon. Then your chest will rise. Your belly will fall first and then your chest. And then just coming back to more of a natural type of breath, just allowing your breath to flow freely. Just scanning your body for any tension, anything that feels tight in your body this morning. If you come across any of that, just let it go, release, maybe take a big breath, sending the breath into that direction. And as you breathe out, allowing yourself to soften. Taking another big cleansing breath in. And a clearing breath out. Just noticing where you're at this morning. Noticing what your breath feels like. Does it feel easy? What does the consistency of air feel like that's being pulled into your nostrils? Does it feel thick? Does it feel smooth? Does it feel quite fluid? Noticing the temperature of your body, maybe some parts feeling slightly different than others. Noticing the texture of your clothes on your skin. Noticing the sounds around you. Noticing your own sound, maybe you can hear your own breath or your heartbeat. Noticing if there's any other activity, maybe you've got some mind activity this morning. If you find your mind wandering, acknowledging wherever it is that your mind is going and then bringing your attention back to your breath, back to your body. Taking a few more big belly breaths. Just noticing what those breaths feel like now. Maybe this time you can breathe a little bit deeper and expand a little bit further as your body and your diaphragm starts to become a little bit warmer, a little bit more open. Then you can just gently lower your left ear over towards your left shoulder. You can still keep your eyes closed. Pulling your head back up to center, taking the right ear over towards the right shoulder. Drawing your head back up to center, let your chin drop down towards your chest. Slowly but surely, you'll start to roll down. Like your head is an anchor and it's starting to drag you all the way down towards your mat. Maybe your hands, if your hands are on your knees, it will fall down onto the floor. If your hands are on your lap, maybe just take them out onto your legs and then also just let them go down to the ground as you keep folding millimeter by millimeter forward. See if the weight of your body can drag you forward instead of steering this movement. Sliding your hands back behind you. If they're not there yet, see if you can come onto the backs of your hands instead of being on your palms. Keep folding forward millimeter by millimeter, releasing tension throughout your hips, your neck, your shoulders, your face. Until you're like a full heavy sack of potatoes, just dropping forward. Almost like when you have a heavy bag of groceries and you're carrying it into your kitchen and you can put it down and it's that release of drop. Let yourself drop. Just sliding your hands out in front of you. Allow your shoulders to soften away from your ears, your armpits to melt down towards the ground, and your bum to press back into the floor, maybe light engagement into your lower bellies. Taking a few more slow, big belly breaths, maybe gently moving your head from side to side, maybe swaying your shoulders from side to side, or your hips pressing one sit bone down and then the other, just deciding where you want to go with this morning. And sliding both hands over towards the left side so that you can aim your forehead towards your left knee. Again, allow your body to drop, folding forward over your left thigh. Sliding your hands through center, going over to your right hand side. Wiggle a bit or allow yourself to be still, whichever it is that you're looking for this morning in your practice. If you like to constantly move throughout, keep searching, keep feeling, keep going into whatever it is that you want to explore this morning. Sliding your hands back to center. Maybe just pushing your hands a little bit further forward out in front of you, giving yourself a big stretch. Pushing your shoulders up towards your ears, taking a big breath in, and as you breathe out, slowly rolling yourself up, chin to chest. Breathing in, reaching your arms up to the sky. Allow your shoulders to be soft and relaxed, and you can slowly start to open your eyes if you haven't just yet opened them, just half gazing somewhere out in front of you, taking in the light, the colors around you, the texture. Interlace your hands above your head, turn your palms up to the roof. Lift your shoulders to your ears, take a big breath in, sitting tall as possible. As you breathe out, drop your shoulders away from your ears and take your chin down towards your chest. Maybe just pulling your arms a little bit further back behind you. Gently start to bring your head back up. You can release your arms out sideways. Turn your palms forward. Take your chin to your chest, reach your arms forward as much as you can, rounding into your upper back. Bring your palms and your fingertips to touch. Breathing in, flapping your arms wide and open, lifting up through your chest, lean slightly backwards. Pull your arms to behind you as if you want to touch your backs of your hands together behind your back, really squeezing backwards. Chin to chest, reach your arms forward, arms reaching forward. Lean slightly back, lift your lower belly up. Rounding the entire upper back, middle back, and lower back. Breathing in, opening up. Push your chest forward, lift through the crown of your head, maybe even gaze slightly upwards. And as you breathe out, chin to chest, reaching your arms forward. You can do 2 more in your own time, linking your breath with your movement. As you breathe in, opening up your chest. And as you breathe out, taking your arms forward. Bringing your hands to your heart center, just making a prayer gesture, pushing into your palms, lifting your palms back up to the sky. You're going to just lightly gaze up towards your thumbs. Reaching your right hand out onto the mat next to you, taking your left arm over, taking a nice side body stretch. Sliding, sliding, sliding your bottom hand a little bit further away from you. Maybe coming down to the elbow if that's accessible. You're going to tilt the top shoulder back and maybe gaze up towards the sky if that's comfortable for your neck. Breathing in, pull yourself up. Let's go to the other side. Opposite hand goes down. Reaching, making almost like a rainbow shape with your body. Nice, maybe you feel a nice stretch in the ribs or the side body. Breathing in, pulling yourself back up again. Straightening your legs out in front of you. Breathe in, reach both arms up to the sky, pull your toes back, and as you breathe out, fold forward. Take your chin to your chest, release your hands down to the ground, and slowly rolling back up again. Reach your arms out in front of you, lift them up, breathing in. Breathe out, fold forward, chin to chest, hands down, shoulders and arms drops. Slowly rolling back up again. One more time, breathing in. Lifting your arms, keeping your arms nice and soft, and as you breathe out, folding forward, chin to chest, and allow yourself to drop. We'll steep here for a moment, like a good cup of tea, allowing yourself just to sit, allowing yourself to feel into the magic of your body, maybe moving your head a little bit around. Just allowing the body and the muscles to get a little bit warmer for this morning's practice. If at any time you'd like to wiggle again, wiggle a bit, maybe reach a little bit further forward, just take it easy though, we're still warming up. Might also be a little bit cold there where you're practicing, so just be gentle at first. And slowly rolling yourselves back up again. We're going to bring our hands next to our bums, pressing into the floor. Pull your toes back towards you and point your toes. Pulling your toes back, pointing your toes, pulling your toes back and pointing them. Sliding your right knee into your chest, opening the right knee up to the side, right knee presses down, arms reach out, big breath in, breathe out, fold forward over the left leg. Maybe then twisting your belly a little bit more towards the left thigh, allow your forehead to drop. Taking a few slow, big belly breaths here. Either holding onto the back of the calf, ankle, foot. Chin to chest, slowly rolling yourself back up. Draw your right knee into your chest. You can either keep the foot on the inside of the thigh or step it over. You can see what works best for you. Hooking your left elbow onto the outside of your right knee, your right hand comes behind your lower back, and you press with that right elbow, pardon, the left elbow. You press with the elbow to help you twist. Pull your belly button in, sit tall, take a big breath in, breathe out, push, twist, look back over your shoulder. Sitting up as tall as you can, pushing through the backhand, and returning back to your center line. Holding behind your thigh muscles, so just behind the knee, sliding your hand a little bit higher into the belly of your leg. Sitting up nice and tall. As you breathe in, lifting the leg up. You're going to flex your toes and push your heel forward and bending back into your knee. Try to sit up nice and tall. Breathing in, lifting your leg up, pushing the heel up, lowering down, lifting it up, and lowering. One more time, breathing in, lifting the leg up. You can release your hands, try and keep your leg up. Reach your arms up to the sky, sitting up as tall as you can, and slowly, slowly releasing the heel back down, taking your arms back down to the floor. You can bring your left knee in, pull the heel as close as you can to your bum, drop the left knee out to the side. You can wiggle your bum to sit up nice and tall if that's what you need. Twisting your body towards your right leg, reaching your arms up, big breath in. Breathe out with a flat back, start to reach your chest forward and fold. Few slow, easy, big belly breaths here. And slowly rolling yourselves back up again. Bring your left knee in, hooking your right elbow onto the outside of your left knee. You can keep the palm flat or just relax, whatever feels cool to you. On the back, tips of the fingers or flat hand. Lift yourself up, pull your belly in, breathe out, look back over the back shoulder, resist with the knee into the elbow and push with the elbow into the knee. And moving back to center. Lifting, holding into the belly of the left leg. If it helps you to sit up taller, you can bend this bottom leg in. Okay, breathing in, straightening out the leg. And bringing it back down to the ground. Lifting the heel up, sit up tall. Reach your chest forward, bending back down to the ground. Breathing in, lifting high. And breathing out, taking it down. One more time. Breathing in, lifting it up. And breathing out. Alright, slide your left leg down. You're going to take your index finger and your middle finger, slide it in between your big toe and your middle toe. So separating your feet about hip distance apart. Now the toes can have warmed up a little bit more. And if you need to get there, keep your knees as bent as you need to. You can even start off here and get deeper by just then walking your hips back and seeing how far you get. But there's not a problem at all if these legs stay bent. Right. Holding nice big grip over those big toes, breathing in, shoulders away from the ears, breathing out, start to pull yourself, draw yourself forward, coming into one more forward fold. Maybe even opening your elbows wide, like a turtle trying to push his head further through out of his shell. You're going to reach your head forward, trying to get forward a little bit more. Keep breathing, don't forget to breathe here. And you can release the toes, slowly rolling yourself back up. Okay, you're going to flip your legs around. Coming onto your knees. If it's comfortable for you to sit on your heels, you can sit on your heels. If not, you can put a pillow underneath between your heels and your bum, or you can just stand up on your knees. Bringing, wherever you are, you're going to bring the tips of your fingers onto your shoulders, and then lifting your elbows up towards the roof. Okay, you might hear me click. I don't know if it will be loud enough, but just a little disclosure. So sitting up nice and tall, you're going to take your elbows back behind you, as far back as you can, and then almost lean a little bit back, but not that there's pressure in your lower back, so always keeping the belly nice and squeezed in and the bum also a little bit squeezed. Taking your arms all the way back behind you, circle, 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 circle. When you get to the front, you're going to take your chin to your chest, connect your elbows immediately. Keep your elbows together for as long as you can, take them up to the roof. Opening up your elbows, breathing in, circling your arms back behind you, lean back, and then chin to chest, bringing the elbows together. As you breathe out, elbows up, breathe in, backwards. Breathe out, elbows to touch. Breathe in, so leaning back on the breath in, and rounding your back forward as you breathe out. So just continuing with a few more rounds in your own time. Try to make the circles as big and as slow as possible, almost like you're going slow motion. So really try and get the back to hug backwards as you open your front body, and to stretch your back out as you close your front body off again. When you're ready, we'll change direction, so just meeting me at the top with your elbows pointing upwards. Now bring your elbows forward to touch, chin to chest. As we breathe in, so always when the lungs open and the chest open, we breathe in, taking the arms back. And breathe out, bring the elbows together, fold forward. Breathe in, lean back, open the elbows and the shoulders, roll them back. Breathe out. And a few more in your own time, going as slow as fast as you like. If you want to feel a little bit more, go a little bit deeper, try and make the circles bigger. If you want to just change it up a bit, maybe try and make the circles a bit smaller. Good, and then you can just release your arms, give them a little shake. Interlace your hands, rolling your wrists around. One direction and the other. Making your way up onto your hands and onto your knees. You're just going to rock yourself backwards and forwards, maybe making circles with your shoulders over your wrists. Sinking your bum back to your heels, forward again. Just trying to warm up the wrists a little bit. Okay, bring your hips over your knees. So keep your hips absolutely still. So I don't want you to push your hips forward. Keep them directly over the knees. It's just your hands walking forward. Push your bum back behind you. Slide your hands forward. Stretch, 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 stretch. Maybe you can bring your chin and your chest to the floor. If that's not in your practice, you can just stay on your forearms or maybe up on your hands. Okay, taking your puppy pose. If it's accessible for you and you would like to try it this morning, you're going to flip your hands in so that you roll over your thumbs and come onto the backs of your hands. Otherwise, just stay flat on your hands, maybe on the tips of your fingers. Just bring yourself up a little bit, squeeze your lower belly, slide your right hand in underneath the left armpit, slide it through, thread it, thread it, thread it, bring your right shoulder down to the ground. Reach the top arm overhead. If it feels like there's too much weight on your shoulder and on your head, you may be leaning your hips forward, so just bring your hips back over your knees again. Pulling ourselves back up again, slide your right hand forward, left arm slides through underneath, twist, twist, twist through the upper body. Let your left ear come down and listen to the mat. Alright, bringing yourself, sliding yourself back up. Use your belly and your bum to help you there. Sliding your hands forward, pushing into your forearms. Here you can bring your hips forward and down onto the ground. Maybe slide your knees back. I'm looking for your elbows underneath your shoulders. Spreading the fingers nice and wide. Chin to your chest. Start to lift your belly away from the mat, pushing onto your knees, lifting your legs and your hips off the ground. Lower your hips, lower your belly, lift your chest, lift your gaze. Pull your shoulders down and away from your ears, so looking forward ahead of you. Chin to chest. Push through your elbows and lift your belly off the ground, maybe onto your knees. If you want to go further, you can lift the knees off the mat too. Lower the hips, lower the belly, breathing, gaze forward. Chin to chest. Roll down your spine, pushing into your elbows, lift the hips off the ground. Lowering the hips down. Breathing in, gazing back forward. You can do a few more rounds if your body feels like that this morning. Otherwise, the fingers are spread nice and wide. Your elbows are dragging back and lifting forward as if you want to pull your chest forward through your shoulders. Peel your belly away from the mat. There's tension in your lower back. Open your feet a little bit wider at the back. If it's in your practice, you can maybe start to float your elbows off the floor. If that's too much for you, just stay down with your elbows. We will all lower ourselves down to the ground, sliding your hands back underneath your elbows. On your next breath in, lift your chest up, float your hands away from the mat, and breathing out, lowering down. Breathing in, lift your chest up, press lightly into your hands, and lower yourself down. So every time you press up, we'll go a little bit higher. Breathing in, lift your chest, lift, pushing into your hands, shoulders away from the ears, lower down. A little bit higher this time, breathing in, rolling yourself upward. Hold it here. Bring your shoulders up to your ears and pull them down and away from your ears. Lift your shoulders to your ears, pull them down and away from your ears. One more time. Lift them up to your ears and down, and rolling yourself back down again. Give your lower back a shake or your bum a shake. Using the strength of your arm, you're going to push yourself away from the mat, coming up onto your knees. Curl your toes in underneath, sit your bum onto your heels, and bring your forehead down to the mat, into a child's pose position. So stay down in your child's pose, just gently rolling your head from side to side. Pressing down into your hands nice and firmly, you can lift your hips up to the sky, coming into your first downwards facing dog. Walk your dog out, bending into one knee, bending into the other knee. Bring your knees back down to the ground, release the backs of your feet. Bring your shoulders forward over your wrists, bend your elbows, push your bum back, chin and chest comes down to the floor. Pull yourself through, breathe in, lift your chest up. Chin to chest, push onto your knees, curl your toes under, lift your hips back up into a down dog. Push your heels down to the ground. Lift onto your toes. Place your knees, your chin and your chest to the floor. Pull yourself through. Lift your chest up. Hug and squeeze your elbows into your ribs. Chin to chest, push onto your knees, curl your toes under. Lift your hips up. Last one. Come forward into your high plank. Knees, chin and chest to the floor. Like you're rolling a stone with your nose. Push your nose forward. Lift up through your chest. Chin to chest. Keep pushing with your hands. Onto your knees, curl your toes. Lifting your hips up into a downward facing dog. Pushing the heels down towards the ground. Pushing your belly back towards your thighs. Getting a nice flat back here. Stretch your right leg back behind you. Turning the back pinky toe down to the ground. Bending into your knee and opening your hip up to the side. You're going to peep underneath your right armpit. Twisting a little bit through your shoulders. You'll see the left shoulder will drop to the ground. And then lifting the left shoulder, dropping the right shoulder, just squaring off your shoulders. Lift high onto your left toes. Draw your right knee into your chest. See if you can connect your knee to your nose. Lift your knee higher. Look in between your hands. Step it forward. If you step a little bit short, use your hand around your ankle. Pull your foot forward. Drop your back knee down to the ground. You're going to push through the front foot. Curl your right toes a little bit further forward ahead of you. Flop. Flex the foot back towards you. You can stay up a little bit higher. Maybe use blocks if you have, or books for your hands. Otherwise, walking the hands forward, taking the fold. Really driving and drilling that right heel down to the ground and pulling the right heel towards you. Gazing forward and up to your front big toe, bending into that right knee. Send your hips forward, come onto the tips of your fingers. Try to pull the right knee a little bit in towards your chest. It might want to escape outwards. Just staying on the tips of your fingers. And try to take the back knee a little bit further down onto your mat. So just pushing a little bit further back. You can curl your back toe in underneath to push that back knee a little bit further back behind you if you want to go a little bit deeper. If you're okay just where you are, you can stay here. Pushing out through your front foot. See if you can maintain your balance here. As you lift the right toes away from the floor, sweeping your arms back behind you, chest reaches forward out in front of you. Sweep your fingertips back down to the ground. Send your hips forward, lowering your hips down towards the ground. Pulling that back knee forward, lifting up through your chest. Pushing out through the front foot, straightening out the front leg. Lift the toes. Maybe slide your hands back and keep your fingertips on the floor for balance. Or maybe reaching your arms back behind you. One more time, sweeping the fingertips forward, bending into the front knee. Dunk your hips down, pulling that back knee forward. Pushing through the front foot, straightening it out, sliding your hands back behind you, reaching your arms back. Reaching your left hand onto the inside of your right, either the knee, the calf, ankle, wherever you can reach with this hand. Maybe it's on a block or a book. Take your right arm up to the sky and take a gentle twist. Bring your right hand back down. Bending forward into your right knee, sinking your hips down, plant your hands flat on the floor. Curl your back toe in underneath, straightening out your back leg. Lifting your front foot, stepping it back into your high plank. Lowering yourself down to the ground. If you're going for the knees, then squeeze the elbows, chin and chest to the floor. Pull yourself through. Pushing into your hands, lift your chest, squeeze your belly, your bum. Chin to chest, push away from the mat, knees, curl the toes under. Child's pose, lifting back up into your downwards facing dog. This time your left leg goes up to the sky. Keep the back leg as straight as possible. Almost try to make an imprint or a print rather with your foot on the wall or whatever is behind you. Pushing through your hands, bending into the back knee, opening the knee to the side and look underneath your left arm. Allow your right shoulder to drop. Flex the top foot, squeeze the heel to your bum. Drop the left shoulder, lift the right shoulder. Draw your knee into your chest. Kiss the knee. Look in between your hands and step it up. Lowering your back knee down to the ground. Wiggle your left foot forward. Straightening out your left leg. And fold forward or maybe come up wherever you are with your practice, that's fine. See if you can pull the left hip back and push the right hip forward. Keeping the knee bent as much as you need to. Bending forward into your front knee, sink your hips forward, lift up onto your fingertips. Allow your hips to drop, like the heavy groceries, let the back drop. Walking your hands back again, let's just straighten the front leg before we start flowing. So this is an option to always just walk your hands back. Walking your hands forward, bending into your front leg, lifting up through your chest. All right, straightening out the front leg, peel the toes away from the mat, sweep your arms back behind you, reach your chest forward, straight flat back. Make sure there's energy through the fingertips at the back. Breathing in, bending into your front knee, come onto your fingertips, lower your hips, lift your chest. Straightening out through your front leg, sweep your arms back behind you. Pull your shoulders away from your ears as you want to touch the wall behind you. Reach your fingertips backwards. Bending into your front knee, lower and drop your hips, lift your chest up. One more time, straightening out your front leg, reach your arms back behind you. Take your right hand onto the inside of the left leg, left arm goes up and twist. Lowering your left hand back down, walking your hands forward, curl your back toe underneath, straighten your back leg, step back into your high plank and lower yourself down. Take it easy, take it slow, shoulders over the wrists. Breathing out as you lower down to the ground, breathing in as you lift your chest and meeting me back in your downward facing dog. Right leg reaches high, bend your knee, open your hip up. Come and step your right foot forward and in between your hands. Lower your back knee down to the ground, straightening out your front leg, send your hips back, reach your arms back behind you. Breathing in, bending into the front knee. This time reaching both arms out in front of you. Circle your right arm up to the roof and back behind you. See if you can take a little twist here, looking back to your right thumb. And then interlace your hands behind your head. Twist a little bit more and see if you can take your left elbow onto the outside of your right knee. If it doesn't touch, that's okay. Lift your chest back up, open your arms. Drop your back hand onto your back leg. Take that front arm all the way back and overhead, lean backwards. If you find that you're unstable, just flirt with the wobbles or open your legs a little bit wider so that they're more train tracked. Pulling yourself back up, left hand comes onto the inside of the right foot, right arm goes up to the sky, easy twist. Curling your back toe in underneath, lift your back knee off the floor. Lean back with the top hand, opening up your chest. Bring your right hand down to the floor. Breathe in, step back into your high plank. We'll lower down, taking your variation. Breathe out to lower down. Big scoop of air into your lungs as you lift your chest almost into a mini back bend. And then meeting me back in your downwards facing dog. Your left leg reaches high, bending your knee, opening your hip up. Step your left foot forward and in between your hands, drop your back knee. Push your hips back, flip your front toes away from the mat, sweep your arms back behind you. Bending into your front knee, sweeping your arms out in front of you. Circle your left arm up and back. Twisting towards your left hand side. Interlace your hands behind your head. Twist your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Breathing in, pull yourself up. You're going to stay in the twist, opening your arms. Drop your back hand onto your back thigh. Maybe spider crawl it down to your calf. If you want to go a bit deeper, take the top arm overhead. Keep sinking forward into your hips. Take a bit of a back bend here. Make sure your belly squeezes nice and tight, your bum squeezing. Take your right hand onto the inside of your left foot. Take your left arm up to the sky, straightening out the back leg. Hug your inner thighs together. Be nice and light on your right hand. Few more easy, slow, big breaths. Left hand comes down to the floor. Breathe in, step back. Breathe out, lower down. Left, right, that wave up into your cobra or up dog. Meeting me back in a downwards facing dog. Last round. Right leg reaches high, bend the knee, three-legged down dog. Stepping your foot forward in between your hands, drop the back knee. Straightening out the front leg, push your hips back. Lift the toes and reach the arms back behind you. Bending into your front knee, sweep your arms out in front of you. Circle your right arm back, up and all the way back. Drop the back hand onto your back leg. Take that front arm, reach it up to the sky. Take a little back bend here. Pull yourself up. We're changing it slightly. Bring your left elbow onto the outside of your right knee. Take your top hand, your right hand onto your bottom hand, making a prayer position. Push with the top hand. Lift your belly up and twist it past your right thigh. Maybe look back over your back shoulder. Stay in the twist. Lift yourself. Open your arms up to the side in a T position. Left hand comes down onto the inside of the right foot, straightening out the back leg. The right arm goes up to the sky, lifting your back leg. Lower your right hand. Breathe in, step back. Breathe out, lower down. Breathe in, lift your chest up. Meeting me back in downwards facing dog. Last round on the left hand side. Left hand goes up, left leg, pardon. Left leg steps in between the hands, back knee goes down. Push your hips back, straightening out your front leg, sweeping your arms back behind you. Reaching your arms forward, bending into your front knee. Left arm circles up, back behind you and twist. Drop your back hand onto your back leg, take that top arm up and over, sending your hips forward. Pulling yourself up, bring your hands to your heart center. Hook your right elbow onto the outside of your right knee. Pushing with the top hand, twisting. Sending your hips forward, push into your palms. Come back up, stay in the twist, opening your arms up. Cartwheel your right hand onto the inside of your left foot. Left arm goes up to the sky, straightening out your back leg. Easy twist, squeeze your inner thighs together. Left hand comes down to the ground, stepping it back. Big breath in as you breathe out, lower down. Breathing in to lift your chest up. Breathing out to go back to your downwards facing dog, looking to your belly button, taking 3 slow breaths. Lifting your bum a little bit higher, squeeze your elbows in towards each other, creating space for your neck and your shoulders. Dropping your knees nice and wide onto the outside edges of your mat, big toes to touch, bum comes down, reaching your arms and your forehead down. Just staying in your child's pose for a few more moments. If you would like to take a sip of water, take a sip of water. Gazing up in between your hands. You can make your way forward onto your mat if you want to go into a down dog first, or maybe just crawling your legs forward, cross your ankles. Sit down onto your bum, reaching your legs out in front of you. Reaching your arms out, pull your belly in, slowly roll yourself all the way down into your back. Once you're here, draw your right knee into your chest. Squeeze your right knee to your right armpit, making a few big circles with your right knee. Pulling the knee across, maybe even pushing the leg down, feeling the rotation in the hip happening. If you like to, maybe making a few circles with your ankle. Bringing your right elbow onto the inside of your right knee, holding with your hand onto either your ankle, or if you can reach, holding onto the outside of your right foot. Lifting your right foot up, half happy baby. Lying a bit on my microphone. Pull the knee down to your armpit. Pulling your right shoulder down to the ground. Put your left hand onto your left thigh. And we're going to change the grip. You're going to peace grip your right big toe. Left hand goes back to the left thigh if that hand helped you. And you're going to push the left heel up to the right heel up to the sky. Straightening that leg as much as you can. If it doesn't go straight, don't force it. It's all part of the process. Lifting your head and your chest up, slide your left fingertips to your left knee, bend your right elbow, try and squeeze your chin to your shin. Drop your head down. You can change your grip, bringing your hands onto your calf. Maybe it's behind or below the knee. And you're going to push your heel up to the sky. Bending into your elbow, lift your chest up again. Maybe this time try to push your forehead to your knee. Lowering back down again. Bending into your knee, take your left hand onto the outside of your right knee. Roll your right knee over to the left hand side. Open your right arm up to the sky and gaze, to the side, and then gaze back to your right shoulder, getting a nice supine twist here. I'm looking for the right shoulder to be on the floor rather than the knee. Giving yourself a last goodbye twist. Trying to push the right knee down and the right shoulder at the same time. Pull your belly and draw your right knee back into your chest. Place your right sole of your foot down onto the mat, slide it down. Going over to the left hand side, left knee comes in. Pull your left knee to your left armpit. Maybe wiggling it a bit from side to side, making a few rotations. Rolling through the ankle on this side if you did on the other side. Pulling the knee in, maybe pushing the knee up to your hands as you circle the knee around. Taking your left elbow onto the inside of your left knee, holding onto your ankle, or if you can reach the outside of your foot. Using the strength of your arm, pull your left knee down to the ground. Try and keep your right sit bone and your lower back down on the floor. Straightening out the bottom leg, flexing into your foot. Let's change our grip. If you can, please grip your left big toe. Right hand onto your right thigh. Kick your left leg up to the sky. When you're ready, lift your head and your chest up. Slide your right fingertips to your right knee. Pull your belly in. Try to push your chin to your shin. Push down through your right heel, your right leg. Lowering back down. Holding onto your calf or behind in the belly of your left leg. And you can straighten out a little bit more through that left leg. And when you're ready, lift your head and your chest up. This time, forehead comes to the knee. Lowering back down. Holding it for a few more moments. Drawing your left knee into your chest. Right hand holds onto the outside of the left knee. Guide the left knee over to the right side. Open your left arm up. Get the left shoulder down. Try to lengthen your bottom leg. So just walk it down your mat. See if you can lengthen your top hip, creating more space from your left rib cage to your left hip, pushing the top hip forward and away from you. If it's okay for your neck, you can look to your left hand. Giving yourself a last goodbye squeeze, pulling the left knee down the left shoulder. And release, allow gravity to take over, just waiting for 2 more breaths. Reaching down with your breath into your bellies. Pulling your knee back up to center. Squeeze your knee back into your chest. Place the left sole of your foot down onto the floor. Slide your right leg to meet your left leg. Bring your heels nice and close to your bum. Keep your head and your shoulders on the floor. Push through your feet, push through your hands, lift your hips up to the sky. You can stay here or you can interlace your hands behind your back. Walk your shoulders in. Try and push the fists down to the ground. Try and relax your neck, your shoulders. Make sure you're not too much weight is on your head or your neck. Squeeze your bum. Lift your hips up a little bit more. Squeeze your knees together. They don't have to touch. Just try and push them towards each other. Release your hands, slowly rolling yourself back down again. And we'll go up one more time. Breathing in, lifting your hips up. This time lift onto the toes. Maybe walk your toes a little bit further back or more back towards you so the toes are underneath the knees. Reach your hands down. You can interlace your hands again here, or you just can keep them down your sides, palms facing down. Squeezing into your lower belly. Keeping the heels up. If you've got your bind behind you, just release. Slowly roll down. Keep your heels up. First the upper back, middle back, lower back, and then the heels come down to the ground. Reach your arms up to the roof, bend your elbows, put your hands next to your ears with your fingertips pointing down to your heels. Hug your elbows in towards each other, turn your toes in. Push through your hands and your feet, lift your hips up. Pushing into your hands, your feet, maybe see if you can float and lift your head and your shoulders off the floor a few millimeters. Or just be very light on your head and your shoulders. Squeeze your bum up. If you want to go for a wheel this morning, you can push into your hand, lifting up. Otherwise, just stay where you are. Wherever you are, chin to chest, slowly rolling yourself down and drawing your knees into your chest, hugging onto both knees, gently rocking from side to side. Our first option is full happy baby. Elbows onto the insides of the knees, hands on the outsides of the feet. Open your legs wide, your feet wide, pull your knees to your armpits, rocking from side to side. If you're watching the second variation, if you're familiar with plow pose, you can go for it, taking your legs all the way overhead. If you're not familiar, watch me first, because once you're there, you cannot move your head from side to side. So if you're going for plow pose, you can take your feet all the way over your head, supporting with your hands behind your hips if you need to. Either straight legs or maybe bending the knees, resting them on your forehead. Very important, if you're in a plow position, roll down onto your shoulders instead of your head and your neck. If you want to go further, interlace your hands behind your back, walk your shoulders closer, push your fists down, and if you want to even go further from there, you can go into a shoulder stand this morning, lifting your feet up, getting your hips, your shoulders, your hips, and your heels in one line. Or if you do have a headstand practice, you can make your way into a headstand. So just to show you that first option, elbows onto the insides of the knees, hands on the outsides of the feet, happy baby. You can straighten one leg, bend it, straighten the other. And you can just play around here, exploring, rocking from side to side, bring your feet together, opening them up. Whichever option you're going for this morning, make sure that you approach it in a safe way, that you first connect with your breath and then allow the rest to fall in place. Keeping your bodies nice and ready, maybe active, maybe soft. Taking your last 5 breaths wherever you are. If you went for a headstand and you want to hold it a little bit longer, you can, otherwise just come down to a child's pose. If you were in a shoulder stand, take your legs back overhead, slowly start to roll yourself down onto your back. And if you were in a happy baby, you can also bring your legs down to the ground, slide them flat out. We're gonna lie flat on our backs, scooping your bum underneath you. If you have discomfort, maybe please put the soles of your feet on the floor, maybe drop the knees in. You can lie on your side, you can lie on your back, you can grab a blanket, you can put a light off if you want to. Walk your shoulders down and away from your ears, just resting your hands wherever it feels comfortable to you, and close your eyes. Just allow yourself to settle. Just giving your body this quick opportunity to reflect on the movement and the practice that we just had. If you're feeling a little bit restless, allow yourself to come back. You need this rest, you need this grounding practice. Taking the slow, mindful practice into the rest of your day. Probably really no need to rush. Just let yourself take a step back. Feeling into the weight of your body, checking in with yourself. Maybe a few more slow breaths, big breaths in, giving it little easy sighs out. Just allow yourself to really be here right now. Slowly start to stretch out your body, maybe reaching your arms over your head. Lifting your shoulders to your ears, stretching your legs, your toes. Rib cage pushes up, breathing in as you breathe out, dropping down. Just taking a few more breaths. And when you're ready, you can rock yourself over towards your left or your right hand side. Keeping your body nice and heavy, eyes closed, pressing yourself up onto your sit bones. Joining your hands to your heart center, humbly lowering your chins down towards your chest. Acknowledging the effort that you put into your practice. Taking a nice big breath in. As we breathe out, we bow down. And I say thank you guys for supporting us. Thank you for showing up for yourselves this morning. And I will see you guys during the week. Keep it up. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, any feedback, you just feel like taking this moment to meditate a bit, put your sound off maybe, or video. Pleasure, guys. Tian Peace grip is your index finger and your middle finger together wrapping around. Pleasure, guys. Pleasure, Sandy. And Teresh. And Michelle. And Tian and everyone. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Katie. Good to see you on here. And nice. I'm proud of you guys for being here. Well done. Keep it up. Keep your mind strong. Keep your heart strong. Show up for your yoga. All right, no worries. It's all good. It's all good. To this morning was actually the last one. Yeah, not the last class. It was the last free packs.